Welcome back to AVPlays. Welcome back to Big Ambitions. And we are picking right back up on Monday, day 64. Yesterday, we made $449,000, and we have about $47,000 in the bank. So, a lot has happened. We made our most recent purchasing order, which got us over the hump. But because it is Monday, those items have not gone out and have not been delivered. So, we have a lot of work to do. We'll start there. Let's go ahead and head to our warehouse. And let's start adding these items. So for Manhattan Lux, I think, for Manhattan Lux, I think I'm going to grab 8 boxes of each item. For Garnet Lux, maybe 4, and then we'll see how that adjusts for tomorrow. Now, with the purchase order, I did buy 5,000 of each. We'll probably need more, so we'll see what happens from there. And I think I have 2 flatbeds, yeah. So I'm going to drop this one off. Just put it off to the side. And grab that second one. And let's go grab some clothes. And I did wind up having to buy a few more shelving units for in here. As you can see, almost all of them are full to the brink. So we needed quite a few more to make sure that order came in. And let's see. So cheap modern, this is perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go right off the bat. And we'll probably be looking at our logistics here quite a bit soon, because the way that this is laid out and how close we are to getting to, what is it, logistics, 16 stores, we're at 15. So eventually we'll break this down to a restaurant warehouse, a maybe gifts and clothes warehouse. So we'll look into that. Oh, that's mail. Or classic cheap female, I guess. And we'll start with those. And let's head over here. All right. But then, and there's so much more we could do with this space. So we will be definitely adding to the store. Because I do see, like, this one just seems so empty. All right, back to the warehouse. We have to grab classic cheap male and then classic cheap or modern cheap female. You definitely got there a much easier way last time. I guess I must have missed a turn. cheap mail. That's what we need. And then, was it close? It was modern cheap mail. Is it gonna be more up front? There we go. Here's 8 of that. And now we just need to find the classic cheap mail. And I wish there was an easier way to do this other than going through every palette and looking, but we'll take what the game gives us. Classic mail. There we go. All right. Make one more trip to Manhattan Lux. And then we'll probably also just buy the ice cream that we need from one of the distribution or one of the wholesale stores. Just because I'd rather keep the items we have in the inventory or in the warehouse. In the warehouse. Wonderful. And I hope that gets us all set for Manhattan Locks. It might not. We'll see. Looks like for now we are set for Manhattan Lux. Let's go ahead and repeat that process for Garment Lux. Yeah, this just becomes the important part of making sure those two stores remain completely stocked. They're probably, well, at least Manhattan Lux will probably become our most uh, profitable store. So getting it stocked, keeping it stocked is so important. And for Garment Lux, we're going to do 4 of each. So it'll be easier to grab. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know we have classic for female, modern for male. And we need classic for male, modern for female, which I do back here. Perfect. Let's go drop these off. Now, we have a lot that we would like to get done in this episode, mostly a lot of factory work that we hope to get to. I'm not sure we will. We'll try our hardest. Wow. Uh, we should be making quite a bit of money today. So that'll get us to at least the point where we can start opening a factory. We can't have anything happen in that factory, though, until the next. Well, I guess we could rush a purchasing order. So I'll take that back. The fact that they added the urgent orders into this is just magnificent that they added them back in, I should say, because then it works to where you're able to just rush an order of things you did not order correctly. Okay, we're good here. Let's go get ourselves some ice cream. And we still have 16 days to pay the IRS, so that's still top of mind. So we can't completely blow through money. But look at actually how our investment is doing. And we've made $7,000 off of it. So that's actually really sick. All right. And we have, let's go get ourselves, I'm just going to say 8 ice cream. Sorry, 4 ice cream. We're done. They drop that off in Lower Manhattan. And we have our headhunter looking for lots of factory workers. So we have all of them set to, we have 2 looking for full-time factory workers, 2 looking for part-time. And as you can see, the skill level is set to the absolute minimum. And that is because as of right now in the game, factory worker skill does not mean anything. So you are able to hire them at very low skills. You don't actually have to put them into an HR situation. And that saves you so much money on both the labor and the additional costs that HR would go into HR. So you're able to really just run factories as cheap as possible so that the items that are made from the factories, you just get that much more profit on. And as sad as that is just the way the world works. That is especially the way this game works. So we're able to kind of exploit that a little. All right, let's go drop this off. And we'll just leave the flatbed in here. And what did I get? I got find out. Well, I guess I did just park in the middle of nowhere. Oh, $125 5. So let's go home and we are going to do our typical kind of play some games. We'll hire any factory workers that come about, or maybe we'll let them pile up for now. Tomorrow, when we have enough money, we'll open that factory and start looking at what it needs to get to be successful. We'll also make that expedited purchase order of fabrics for it. That way we can start working as soon as possible in the factory. Oh, I was pressing the wrong buttons. Right, sharper hand. Right, we are home sweet home. All right, we're gonna do an hour on the treadmill, and we have 9+ candidates now. Wonderful. Go ahead and take an hour-long shower. Sounds beautiful to take an hour-long shower. That would be great. And where did we lose money? Oh, I guess on the ice cream. Wonderful. And this is why I didn't want to necessarily skip that far ahead, but we are going to let it go. And because so much will happen tomorrow anyway. So let's go ahead and skip ahead of time. Anything that we have to worry about logistics? Well, no, because the deliveries. All right. Let's go ahead and sleep until tomorrow morning and see what we made today. Just $555,000. Not as much as I was expecting, but I can't complain about that. All of our logistics should be good, except Manhattan Lux is low on paper bags. And is that because I'm not sending enough paper bags to Manhattan Lux, or do we just not have any? Oh, this would make sense. All right. So we shouldn't have to worry about that for now. We'll see if it gets too low. But I just upped it up to 4,000 because there's 4 cash registers there. Let's go ahead and we're going to be in Industry City. Let's look at warehouses. And you'll see maybe not anymore. Okay, so looks like they don't have these in Industry City anymore. Maybe they're taken. But there are these with the little factory symbol, as opposed to these that look like a warehouse. These are the buildings that are specifically meant to be factories, and these are the buildings that are specifically meant to be warehouses. You can use them either way. Very interesting that none of them are showing up as such in Industry City, but I don't care. We are going to go ahead and grab the largest one we can find, which looks like it's going to be, which looks like it's going to be 2601. And I want to say It's like these Q3 ones that are set up. You can't look inside. These ones are the ones set up to be factories specifically. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. So I just want to choose the best location, which I think is going to just be this. Let me look on the inside of this. And yeah, there's a lot of room. Yeah, there's a pretty straight line that you could utilize for factory. So we're going to go ahead and rent this one, $751,000. And this is going to be our clothing factory. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We are going to be producing expensive clothing here.
Good. Let's not waste any time then. Let's build that factory. Now, these parts are expensive, and you need a lot of them. So plan out what you need and start to build up each piece when you can afford them.
And you know what? I know I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm going to take this money out, even though it was making quite a bit. But we're going to need it for the factory. I'm going to pay off this loan, and you guys didn't see me take out this loan. This was to ensure that our purchase order went through. If we didn't utilize that loan, we definitely wouldn't have had that purchase order. Let's go ahead and take this taxi over to Industry City, and I'm going to start at the truck place. That is because I'm going to buy a little minivan for us. Now, so the cargo capacity here is 24. This is 40. I think I'm going to go with this. I haven't bought one of these quite yet. This is going to be our little Industry City vehicle. So let's go to Factory Supply Depot. It doesn't open for 2 hours. So let's go check out our factory. It seems like this actually was a little bit faster than the Mercedes Dash. Maybe not. Not quite sure. At any rate, it has more inventory, so that is useful. And this is our clothing factory. Themselves. Let's get a feel for it and start thinking about what these lines are going to look like. So we know we're going to need a lot of storage in here, which will probably be back here. That we don't take up this area. But we have quite a bit of room to play with. Each line will probably be the length of this. So we'll be able to have quite a few lines take up this space. Wonderful. Let's look at how many employees. So we have quite a few that we get to utilize. So let's go ahead and let's drive over to the supply. Luckily, it's marked off because of Uncle Fred. And we'll probably sleep on the bench there to skip the hours and make our lives easier. And you guys will see how quickly $1.1 billion goes when you're working through a factory. I feel like I've owned that building before, and it's meant to be a factory building. All right, let's sleep until 10. Wonderful. And every line will need an input station and an output station. And it's the pieces in between that you're looking at. So let's go ahead and look at what clothes need. And we're doing classic expensive to start. We need a laser cutting machine, an industrial sewing machine. Here's a laser cutting machine, already 280,000. Industrial sewing machine is 50,000. So one production line is already $350,000. Now you're going to need to use these as effectively as possible. So you can see was there no, actually, all right. Yeah, there was no consumer goods assembly machine. So this line is actually very straightforward because you have the input, goes straight to the laser cutting machine, the sewing machine puts it together, it outputs it. There are some like this where you can see there are multiple inputs. So you'll have to think about how to utilize those multiple entry ways to make sure your line is as efficient as possible. I'm going to go ahead and grab one more of each, and we'll have 2 lines go. I mean, we could probably get away with another one. We can definitely get away with another one. So, you know what? Why not? Well, before I do that, let's get 8 of those in. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and grab another line. And the clothing lines seem to be the most simple. Jewelry is pretty complex. I'm sure some of the food items are pretty complex. I haven't really dove into the food items too much. I'm gonna go ahead and no, I think 8 is fine. Let's go into Bisman, go to our purchasing agent, and that's not what we want. This clothing factory. We're going to order this and place it as an urgent order, which will come in tomorrow. So these lines won't have anything to do today, but they'll be ready to go tomorrow. We'll have 3, and we'll see how efficient they are. And really, we only needed the cheap or the expensive fabric because we're focused on expensive clothing right now. And we do need a 4th line to make that last set of expensive items. So whatever we don't choose to make in this, will be missing. All right, we're parked. Let's go ahead and grab our hotbed. Place these first, which I think it does make sense. We'll just place them on this back wall. We'll actually probably start just like the other warehouse here. And if need be, if it needs to get more, if we need more items, if need be, and we need more pallets, we can always buy more, we can always place more. So we have plenty of space to work with back here. And I am leaving a lot of space in between them just to kind of make it navigatable. The employees do need to get to the items that are stored here. If they cannot access them, they will not produce on the lines. Let's go ahead and we'll lay one line down first, or 2 lines down. Let's see how this looks. And if this is like spacious enough, we might be able to get multiple lines going in the same row. Not quite sure. To grab. Go ahead and so I'm trying to get them as close to each other as possible to kind of not waste space. And the wild card is that industrial sewing machine. However much space that takes up is where we can place these. And it doesn't take up all that much space. So the closest we can get to the wall for this is here. And so I'm just going to move these. And you go here. Can I move it backwards? No, because it's up. There we go. There's one line down. Let's go ahead and repeat it. And you can see you can't get all that close. So we'll have to go here. And that just moves it over. Wonderful. And I'm going to just have the other line going this way. About that. And before these even work, you do have to know what is going inside of them. So the machine has to know what its input and output is going to be. So we'll start here. Fabric. Expensive. Fabric. Expensive. Cut fabric. Classic expensive. Classic expensive. Uncle Fred's gonna talk.
It looks like your factory's ready to start running. You'll need to get some raw goods, so get those imported from the correct import piers. and you'll be manufacturing your own inventory in no time.
Thank you, Uncle Fred. All right. This is going to be clothing classic expensive female, clothing classic expensive male, and that's it. And then we'll do the same thing here, which will be fabric expensive, and we'll definitely be utilizing these machines to do multiple. So these will change at some point. Like these we'll probably have a line of like 8 doing one of each thing. The more you can produce, the better. And modern expensive. Well, actually, this was modern classic expensive. Okay. So modern expensives running lot. And modern expensive female. Let's go ahead and hire all these guys. They won't be working today, but doesn't hurt to get them hired. Was that 117 employees that I just saw? That's insane. And the factory is going to be going 24/7. So that is something to keep in mind. We want these to never stop. And as you can see, because they are cheap and they're not going to get trained, they have 0 demands. And we are probably going to just open it as well, because one, there's no harm in doing so. And so that first thing tomorrow, when that order gets in, these guys will just be hard at work. Part-time. Wonderful. A little bit. Couple more. I'll go ahead and open this. We will fire anyone who is not working, unfortunately. And if you wanted to get very technical and smarter about this, you could have filled your schedule specifically by lack of talent to save a couple dollars here and there. It looks like, yeah, 6, 7, 8 are all getting paid the same amount of money, and then 9 bumps it up $1. So you could be smart around that and save, $8 times X amount of employees an hour. You can save a few $100 a week. I would love for them to also add in the need for like security in factories. That would be cool. And let's look at what we've got going on here. What is this? What alert? Oh, it's running out of paper. So here at Manhattan, everybody's happy with the pricing now, and it's making almost $30,000 a day. Wonderful. Manhattan Hair is up there. Play Law's up there. So our businesses are doing great. Play Law in Garment District is at 5,000, and Garment Lux is almost at 20,000. So I love what I'm seeing. And then once we start selling the higher price clothes at both of these locations, just kind of double what we're doing. So this will be up at 60,000 or maybe 70, 80. All right. And one last thing to look at with the factory is you can see that this is new runners, but we're seeing that this can make about 4 products an hour. So if it's running at 24 hours a day, that's 96 products a day, 7 days a week. That's $672 products a week that it can make. That is clearly not enough. If we want to equal, let's say, our ordering capacity of 5,000, we would need to have about 8 machines for each product line, and that's doable. We already have 3. So we could switch these 3 to do the same exact thing and be okay. Then we're looking at this is going to consume 96 of that fabric a day. So same idea. We are going to be consuming, if we wanted to do that 5,000, we're going to be consuming all of that fabric in 1 week. So you'll have to look at the amount of fabric you're ordering to keep up with the amount of production. Right now, we should be fine. Tomorrow, as soon as we get more money, we will be adding to our line. And I'm going to leave this truck parked here. It won't be our delivery truck. We will buy 2 delivery trucks for this warehouse, but it can stay there for now. We will take our... I wonder, is it valuable to rent an apartment here? Not really. Okay, never. You don't need that quite yet. We'll take the taxi back home. Kind of repeat the process until tomorrow hits. I've meant to turn the headhunter off. Let's look at what our headhunters are doing, though, because it could be valuable to have them working for other things. So we know that, what was it? I think Garment Gifts needed cleaning. Nope. Was it Manhattan Gifts? Do we have Manhattan Gifts? Yeah, they need cleaning on the weekend. So let's go ahead and start recruiting for a weekend cleaner. Play Law in Lower Manhattan is hitting that 50. So that's exciting. See if we can bump that up to $285 to make a couple extra dollars off of it. And that is something you should always look at. If you're hitting your capacity, your pricing could go up until it drops a little bit below capacity. Then you adjust. Right now, we're not hitting our capacity for this store, so really pricing should go down a little bit. I'm not going to, but that's a way you could drive your business to capacity. Same thing here. We're not getting to that capacity. We're getting close. These stores are doing great. Like these two are almost tied. They're bringing in $100,000 a day each. And we're making 2.5 a week each. So let's look at what we can do. Never mind. We have a restaurant in Garment District, do we? Yes. No, cut to yes. We'll start looking at that. We're going to start picking away at Ingrid's businesses more and more. She's still a rival to us, pain in our butt. We're gonna put her out of business. But we can't quite yet. Go ahead and use our pull-up bar for an hour. And really, I just want to make sure nothing logistics-wise is happening. Perfect example. We'll go ahead and add these three. They're going to Manhattan Gifts. Add industry gifts, Manhattan. No evening shifts for you. There we go. And now that's one less thing to worry about. Is there anything else I'm trying to think of? Manhattan Hair, how you doing? You're all set on weekends, right? Yes. Okay. We could use more security at Manhattan Lux, except never mind. I do think we're okay. So, Brood Beans LC, or yeah, IC needs more donuts. So let's look at what we're giving them logistics. And it's getting 200. Let's bump that up to 300. And see if that fulfills that tomorrow. If we still get that warning, we'll bump it up again. But since we are midday, I am going to just fix. Now, and the reason we're not fixing it is because I want to see if that naturally fixes with tomorrow's order. If we keep manually fulfilling the orders, we'll never be able to get the logistics down right. Let's play for 1 hour. If anything else pops up while we're waiting. Yeah, see, that's out of donuts already. And LM is out of donuts. So these guys are selling their donuts. I'm gonna bump this up to 400. So I feel like if it went out midday, that's a sign. You 600. And see, these are all things to look at, worry about. So we know Midtown needs more fries. Let's give them 1500. Garment District needs more chicken kebab skewers. What a surprise. Let's bump them up to 600. Cup of coffee. Donut as well. And the clothing. So Garment Locks is actually low on their clothing. And we're giving it 200 each. Let's go ahead and bump that up. We'll bump it up to 400. Hot dog. Sorry guys if this part is a little bit tedious and boring. We just want to make sure we're getting our logistics good, which you can do with math, but I'm refusing. Chicken kebab skewers. And burgers. Wow. That's exactly what we want to see out of this restaurant, though. Cup of coffee and croissants. And lastly, what was that last one? Sorry. Industry City. The kebab spheres. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and sleep until tomorrow. See what we made today. Repeat the process for this. 536. We're up to 611. We got our order there for 175,000. So we can get one more line up and running. Let's start headhunting for those. And I'm going to just turn these guys on. Let's find ourselves a taxi. Oh, and what is this? Are we already out of these items? No way. That would be yes way. Okay, you made a mistake there. That should be 20,000. Okay. Before we even do anything, we are going to, hop into our cars and buy a whole bunch of chicken kebab skewers. I don't have patience for the traffic of this. And I can't split the draft. If I can, I might push that car out of the way. There we go. I suppose we only need enough to get us through this day. And what we could do is something I would hate to do because it clears everything out. What happens if we do this? That comes quite a bit of money. We're just going to place an urgent order and have that covered tomorrow. Yeah. That'll kind of reset our warehouse to its limits, but that's okay. Go drop these off. And that just pushes us one day behind on our factory goals. You know what? Mistakes happen. We got to deal with it. Mistakes happen in real life businesses all the time. Probably never a purchase order off by 18,000, but we're human. So, really, it's only those two. Let's look at everyone else. We know you're out entirely. That's terrifying. You're out entirely. You're okay-ish. So maybe we'll drop 4 here, 4 at the others, 2 at Murray Hill, and 2 at House Kitchen. I'm assuming 2 at Garment District. Or we could probably ignore Garment District when did Garment District go? price. So pricing is right. All right, let's go ahead and grab 4. And that's 800 of these. Which, I mean, they probably can sell in one day. We'll also have to worry about this tomorrow because that order won't get in until 8. That off to the side. Let's go back in here. Great. Let's head over to the town. All right. Good do it. Let's see if those production lines are up and running. So, clothing factory. Not running, not running, not running. Why? You are missing inventory, but person should be able to get them. I feel like they don't until you go into the factory. So, once we drop these items off, we'll go over there. We might actually make a pit stop at the factory once we get Midtown taken care of, and then we'll take the rest of those items, bring them over to our factory in Industry City, or sorry, our restaurant in Industry City, because it also needs items, and like we'll take care of all of that at once. All right. Wonderful. Perfect. All right. And let's head over to our, well, to the round of this, to this, which is opening in just a few minutes. So he will wait it out. All right, let's head in. Grab this. We will input, output, laser, sewing, and that's great. And you can probably also, like, depending on the speeds, right? There is an argument for being able to take this input station and buying just the industrial sewing station and putting those together as one. And that way those two are automated. So there's so many different ways to do this. So because like each machine has varying speed. So if say the industrial sewing machine is faster than the laser cutting machine, then you want the people to be putting more items into that industrial sewing machine. Okay, so this person's grabbing inventory In real time, we're seeing it happen, guys. And in real time, we're seeing items in the outfit station. That is so exciting. I wonder why that's not lined up. Oh, because it starts right here. Oh, make more sense. So you're doing fabric, expensive. Cut fabric, modern, expensive. I believe this is modern, expensive nail. Let me just make sure. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and hire everyone that will be working on that. And build a schedule full time. It's always like so nice when you don't have to worry about those commands. Part timer. Boom. Now these are up and running, and yep, this person's going to grab the items they need. And I'm assuming what we're seeing here is the machine not being fast. So one of these machines slows down, and it's this. So this takes 10 minutes to cut the fabric. This takes 15 minutes to sew it. So if we were to split this, the outcome of this to 2 sewing machines, we'd be able to better take care of that. That is a problem for the next episode. I'm going to leave it here. We put together a whole factory, well, a very small factory. It's working. We're going to work on optimizing it as best we can while spending as little money on it as possible. We're making quite a bit of money a day, though. Hopefully on Thursday, we'll see this jump up a little bit. I'm not sure why it's hovering at this number. We'll see. But yeah, we will leave it here. If you guys liked this video, please like and subscribe. Comment with anything you want to see, any questions you have, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you.